This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boston Capital, Tory, Steve, on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tap in, birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here.
I bet Ludwig at 28.
Let's go. I bet
You
him
did
at,
too?
I bet him at 25.
Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
I love Brian Harmon at 3.5% this week.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's your boy Capper with Twitterless Steve. We're going to be doing the Waste Management Phoenix Open preview on the Hold the Green podcast. Steve, I just complained about how cold it is in Florida. How are you?
I'm good. You're showing your age, though, by not getting the title of this tournament correct, by the way. It's no longer the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
What is it?
Capper. It's just the WM Phoenix Open.
Give a fuck. Well, I don't care about that. It's still Waste Management.
Okay. All right. Yeah. For all the dinosaurs out there that are watching Old the Green, we were actually questioning tonight about why we're going earlier is because we have to go to bed. But yes, we will be covering the WM Phoenix Open tonight. We'll go over the golf course, go over the stats. We'll do all that. First, though, I think we probably should give a proper respect to a proper golfer. Justin Rose wins by a touchdown today, right? I think he won by 7 today.
Yeah, I stopped watching. Yeah.
You stopped watching.
I actually watched more today than I did. I watched some on Thursday afternoon, a little on Friday afternoon, 0 on Saturday, a little bit today. It's just, there's nothing like my DFS lineups were like, I knew I was just going to min cash in the 200 and I had no real upside. So I was like, yeah, there's no reason to watch Justin Rose run away with it.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Justin Rose. Congratulations to anyone who picked the right proper golfer. I picked the wrong proper golfer with Adam Scott this week because that's just what I do. But no, that was one of the more impressive wins I think I've ever seen. I know that Tory Pines did not play all that tough, particularly today. One of the easier scoring rounds I can remember at Tory Pines. I'm thinking that they might have put their thumb on the scales a little bit with some of these pin positions, hoping that Rose would not play all that good today and let somebody make a run at him. Nope. But no, Rose held his own, shot, I think 400 today.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it could have been lower. It could have been lower from when I was watching. He missed a couple putts. You know who can't putt on POA? Is Chris Gotterup. Do not let me bet him on the West Coast anymore. Do you know how many 8-footers, 4-footers, 9-footers that motherfucker missed? Unreal.
Probably a lot.
How much? It was crazy. There were so many times I was just checking the shot tracker doing something. I was like, 3 feet. I was like, sweet. Come back. I'd be like, wait, why is he still at the same number? I don't understand. Oh, he missed the putt. Great.
Yeah. So, well, we'll get to another guy who couldn't putt on POA as well, because the more interesting one, I think they got her up. But it got me thinking, though. First of all, I'm happy for Rose because of what happened last year at the Masters with everyone wanting Rory to win, getting the green jacket. But there's also Justin Rose, who probably should have 2 green jackets at this point. He gagged it away to Sergio back in 2017. Very easily could have got one last year. Only has 1 major on his resume, getting older, but a little bit of a career resurgence from him. He won the FedEx St. Jude last summer. He got a big time win at Tory Pines this week. Very similar to what he did in 2019, where he just ran up the score in very easy conditions. And have you seen his major prices this year?
No, they're all gonna. I can't imagine his number is going to be so gross at Augusta. It's going to be so.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
I don't know. 30.
It's 30 right now. Apparently, he's the most.
I've been doing this a while.
Yeah, and apparently he's the most bet golfer currently at the Masters.
He's missing the cut. He's missing the cut at Augusta. That's going to happen.
Well, if you subscribe to Brian Kirshner's theory of he has no chance to win after a heartbreak. I mean, he lost in a playoff.
Oh, I didn't even think about that
last year. But it did get me thinking, though, because the theme of the Masters going in is the guy who just played the best heading to the Masters That's usually just the one who wins. It's no surprise. And what if with Rose, because he's getting up there with age, he's let a couple slip away. What if he's taking the mindset that Rory did of just, he's going to do whatever he can, like to get his mind in a good place, his body in a good place, with just one goal in mind, just getting the Masters. And yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I like Rose enough, right? I think the hyperbole is a little strong now. Like everybody's like that gold medal didn't mean anything. Nobody cared about the Olympics back then. I don't even know who he beat. He's got one major. I don't know. Like whatever. He's fucking 45. I don't know. This Hall of Fame career and the drooling over him. You know what happens when this happens to a golfer. That I don't even particularly dislike. I just like, nah. I don't know. I don't like. Let's pump the brakes. Like it's fine. It's okay.
You just don't like his hat.
I definitely don't like his hat.
No. Still rocking the Morgan Stanley hat after all these years.
I hate that. I hate that fucking hat. The hat is stupid. His Morgan Stanley commercials are stupid. That Visa commercial with him and his caddy with the fucking ice cream made me homicidal every time I watched it. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Look, I used to dislike Rose. He's grown on me in the last like 2 or 3 years. Then I see the picture of him in the like stupid like British tuxedo and the top hat, like riding in some carriage.
Okay.
I don't like it.
All right. Well, the other guy that got a lot of airtime today too, even though he was in the mix, was Brooks Koepka, grinding.
It was
his
good to
way
see him back out there.
It was good to see him actually grind to make a cut, unlike some other losers that completely crapped the bed on Friday.
So many losers in golf. And that's the thing that is, so before we even get onto what Scotty's going to do to this fucking murderer's row of weak, spineless, like air quote athletes, these golfers are just spineless, gutless losers. All of them. Like it's incredible to me how much I dislike a majority of the people I cover in this sport. It's fucking insane. It's crazy to me. Just absolute. They don't give a shit. They got their sponsors' money. They don't care. There's no stealing. As soon as pressure hits them, they crumble like a fucking cheap suit. Forget about it. It's terrible. I was so irritated watching some of these so-called tier 1 golfers just shit all over themselves coming down the stretch. So annoying.
Yep. It was
on the easy course. Fucking Cantlay and Xander were on the goddamn easy course. Like, listen, I didn't bet him. I don't give a shit. But it's like these are the guys who are supposed to be like who people tune in and watch. And Xander looked like I did, fucking like after having a baby and having like 3 months off of work, tired and bloated. I was dude, you're an athlete. Like, what are you doing? Like, I knew he was dead from that fucking press conference. That press conference, I was like, he is fucking dead. And I'm certainly not betting him this fucking week either. I don't care what his number is. Oh, what a fucking loser. Ugh.
Yeah, both of those. I hope they had a wonderful weekend in San Diego. Both of them.
So lame.
So
lame.
Yeah, let down a lot of people. I think Andy had both of them as his court this week.
I bet he court them both.
I bet Cantlay, and actually it looked like he was going to get off to a good start. He actually played pretty well on the South Course, and then just did what he always does, crap down his leg, and then he got 3 quick birdies on the front 9 of the North Course. And then just put it in neutral the rest of the time. It's unbelievable with him. I have a brain injury continuing to go back to him, continue to spin, continue to justify. And
Just stop.
I'm getting to that point, especially because I'm no longer in the positional market. I don't enjoy that market anymore. I think the pricing sucks. So at this point, I've chased Cantlay enough for a win. That if it burns me, it burns me at this point.
Yep.
So
he's
I'm
a loser.
good on that.
I don't think he's ever going to win again. What was my preseason prediction that he was going to fall out of the signature event cut? I like my initial position from the beginning.
Yeah, he did not have a good start. But with Brooks, though, you look at the stats with him. And it was nice to pair up what he said after the opening round on Thursday, and it kind of mirrored exactly what he did this week. He said after his after he got the golf course on Thursday, he said 2 things that came to fruition. Number 1, felt like he was struggling with the driver a little bit. Did not drive it very well today. That showed up in the stats. And number 2, he says he's never putt very well on POA, and he put in an absolutely disastrous putting performance this weekend. Yes,
lost like
he
4
lost
strokes, didn't he?
five. He lost 5 strokes putting on
5.
Saturday alone.
Damn.
Yes, but he hit his irons pretty well. He was able to grind and get up and down pretty well. So that's encouraging. Now you're going to start getting him on more friendlier surfaces like overseed and some typical Bermuda and some bent grass. So I think the arrows, that was a good showing, even though it was T61. The fact that he hit it pretty well this week, and it was really just problems with the putter on the surface that he just has not really done well on, other than a couple of US Opens. It was nice to see him back and actually hit the ball good. So, baby steps, arrows in the right direction. His odds this week absolutely suck, but unfortunately, he is probably not going to. I don't know.
I don't know. Betting it. Shut up. You just bet Cantlay last week. You're telling me not betting Brooks after he showed. You just told me his irons were good. As soon as I saw him hit a couple of shots, yesterday and today, or Friday and today, I was like, Steve's 100%. It doesn't matter what the number is. Gonna have a 2 in front of it. You bet it.
Look, on my official betting card, it probably will not appear, but it's the Super Bowl, and we're all gonna bet like complete morons this week and bet way too much and drink too much and then press and get some more. And of course, I'll probably shadow bet Brooks. Why wouldn't I? But his number this week, though, is kind of crazy. We'll get over it in a little bit.
Is it 30, 35?
We'll go over it at the end. We actually the odds tonight, and there actually is a without market you can look at, which we will be looking at because spoiler alert, I don't care anymore. I'm just betting the without Scotty market. So
I don't care either. I like it's, and I think I was scrolling Twitter for about 10 minutes before I got angry and turned it off, and I saw Kirshner was talking about maybe the top 5 markets instead. Probably just have to
you could do that
out and figure out which way it works better, because I could just imagine me betting the without Scotty market and my guy coming in third and me throwing something through my TV. So I think for my mental health sake, I feel like +5. And look, I mean, I think I might just start betting fucking Scotty every week to cover the rest of my shit bets and whatever. Like, I really think I might like at 3-1, whatever, throw $200 down and then fucking go about my business and hopefully some other shit hits too. Or like, I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, what are you supposed to do? The guy wins at an insane clip. I don't even know what I was, when I was cleaning, I was half listening to Andy's pod this afternoon. I think he wins at like a 37% clip. 37%. That's fucking
pretty
insane,
good,
man. What are we doing? Like, why do we stop? Why are we being so hard-headed? Like, I don't like him. He's not entertaining. He's super boring. Like, he doesn't have the flair that Tiger did, but he's doing every single thing that Tiger was doing. Tiger did it against plumbers and electricians, and like 5 good golfers, and Scotty is doing it against a bunch of pampered, absolute no heart, no spine, fake athletes that make up the PGA Tour. So it like incredible. It's just crazy. Like it's just gonna be no fun. Like this, no fun. Scotty, why do you have to take away our fun?
Well, we're stubborn because we know with golf everything is so volatile and up and down, and at some point I think we're lying to ourselves saying, well, he's going to regress at some point. But unfortunately, a guy like Tiger never did. And if Scotty, what's scary about Scotty now is we would be like, well, that putter is kind of a problem, and now he's one of the best putters in the PGA Tour. And when you are constantly leading the tournament in iron play and you don't miss fairways and you putt as good as he's been putting, like you're just going to win.
It's when Billy Madison got the fucking dodgeball and said, now you're all in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, even one where people love to pump their chests and pump up how they bet Steven Yeager at the Memorial or at Memorial Park. They love touting that outright. He only won because Scotty spun a wedge back on the par 3 into the water. Otherwise, he wins. So it comes down to just kind of like freak occurrences sometimes in order to like get one over the finish line with that.
And then last year, I'm sure we'll get into it, but last year I know Dietrich won by a touchdown, but Scotty was running him down, and then something happened on 10 or 11. It might have been earlier than that.
Well, Scotty quit.
That's what I'm saying. Scotty just basically gave up. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, yeah, okay. So like, how many people are gonna remember that? I remember that. Like, it's terrifying that he quit on the back nine. And what did he finish last year? Because you're gonna need to tell me where I can go find an easy, like, scrollable list now where I can just see the entire field and then see their course history, like Fantasy National used to have, because that's gone now. And so now I don't know where to do that. And now I'm all flustered and frustrated.
Okay. So, anyways, a couple other takeaways from Tory Pines. You had a couple of guys who have slumping did pretty well this week. Finau hit the ball pretty good this week.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You got an ace, and he's 36 years old. One of the things that's been bad about Finau the last year or so, he's been driving it really poorly. He's lost a lot of distance. But if he can get that back, get the iron play kind of going, maybe he can get back to at least like 85% of what Finau was, which, is better than what we showed last year. It's a Gala. Pretty good start to his year so far. He's going to be mega really chalk this week. Yeah, but top 10 this week. He played pretty well at Sony and Amex too. Going to be real chalky, though, because he's been pretty good at Scottsdale.
Yeah, but you could miss here. You just can't miss fucking huge. So whatever. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I can't get out of my brain. I think it was your Nick Taylor one that Tagala was in the mix. And he just left the club face way wide open and sent it way right. So, which, funny enough, though, you can do that here. Missing right actually is not a bad thing. A lot of trouble is left, as I'll show you on some of these holes. And then this might be the last time we see Tory Pines in this time slot in the calendar. There's talk that they.
What's happening? Like, I don't understand. Like, I haven't even looked at the new schedule. Like, I don't. I'm almost like refusing to acknowledge it. Basically, like, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't read about it, it's not happening.
So there's talk that it'll move to the summer and it might take over the Tour Championship. Which, if I had to choose between if I had to choose between, well, it's no longer a Reese Jones, but if I had to choose between Eastlake and Tory Pines, you're going to be shocked to hear this. Based on, I like the renovation of Eastlake, but it poses absolutely no challenge to those guys anymore.
No.
Like, I'd rather see Tory Pines as much as I knock it. Plus, you also would get the benefit of summer months in San Diego where it hadn't rained for about 5 months, so play pretty firm. You got the Kikuyu actually growing up. That'll make the rough a lot more difficult and sticky for these guys and actually create more of a missed fairway penalty there because the Kikuyu rough really grabs it. Might not be a horrible thing. And you get the long summer hours. You could go with primetime golf in the summer. We're begging for that.
Because listen, there's nothing on in the fucking summertime. They should do it the week of the baseball all-star game, but there's legitimately nothing going on. Like, no hot stove news, nothing going on in football at all. Like, the NBA and NHL are just over. Like, that would be a good spot for that.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is we don't, unless it's like 1 billion degrees, which you live in Florida, so it's probably different, part of the equation. But up in New York, I don't really want to be inside at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock watching golf. I want to be outside.
No,
you do because it's 1 billion degrees.
Right.
But if you
I go outside in the morning and in the evening in the summertime.
Yeah. But if you give me primetime golf now on the West Coast in August, that's going to be great. I'm going to be inside. I'm going to be having, complete my day, complete everything I need to do. You're watching the Bruins, aren't you? I can tell.
Listen, I will say, that's fine. You got my face, but there's, you know how much self-control I've had. There's been 2 goals. There's been a goalie fight. There was a 2-man. There's still a 2-man advantage right now for Tampa, and I have not broken concentration at all, and I didn't even bring it up.
So they're doing the outdoor Winter Classic in Tampa, outdoor stadium.
It's fucking freezing in Florida, dude. Fucking. So my daughter's down at my daughter is down at USF now, and she so gas. You know what Gasparilla is?
Yes, I know what Gasparilla is.
Okay. All right. So Gasparilla is this weekend. That's supposed to be the big thing. Like, they didn't even go out to the parade because same thing. It felt like it was like, I think they said it felt like it was 20 on the weather. It was like sideways raining. It was like 35 mile an hour winds and it was fucking 35 degrees. Like, that's fucking bad in Florida.
Yeah. No, it's been below 15 degrees every day here for the last 7 days. And it's going to be like this for the next 2 weeks. Up here.
So bad. You don't have to live there. You can come here. Your dad.
No,
lives
but you
there.
know what's starting to pop up though is a lot more indoor golf simulator places up here. I went to one on Saturday, and I was hitting the ball pretty good. But have you ever been to one of you've been to an indoor golf simulator place, right?
Yeah.
The short game and putting is a disaster.
Putting's a nightmare. I have no idea how the putting works.
Yeah.
And it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Or trying to hit like a bunker shot. So they put on the bunker like mat. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit like a real bunker shot. I'm going to hit behind it. I'm going to splash it out. And then it goes 50 yards over because it comes off hot off the carpets. So I realized I actually had to just like chip it off it. Like it kind of defeats the purpose. But it was one of those that actually the playing surface tilts depending on the lie. So it actually was pretty cool. I had some downhill shots, uphill shots. I bladed one pretty badly. Downhill shot. It was fun. Shout out for putt's sake in Fairport, New York. Okay. I had a very good time on Saturday. So
for putt's sake, I like that. For putt's
sake. It was very cheeky. My wife came with me. She actually she enjoyed it as well. And they're blasting a lot of like mid 2000s, late 2000s hip hop too. So they know their demographic. They know that it's a bunch of 40-year-olds, late 30-year-olds coming there to play. And that was good. All right. You want to move on to the People's Open, the WM Phoenix Open?
People's Open. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, though, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like our video and subscribe. To the Inside Sport. Yep. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, but subscribing to us is the best way to know when we're going to put out content. And we just have a lot of good stuff every week. Obviously, we got our show, we got Andy's preview, we got Tap and Birdie. We put out like a content every single week about the golf course, a lot of in-depth stuff. Please go ahead, like and subscribe to Inside Sports Network, a YouTube page.
Yeah, and we see the analytics, you lurkers. 48% of you viewers not subscribed. We see you. Go hit the button.
There you go. All right, let's go to the People's Open. Here we go. Of course, you would have the cover photo be the 16th with the stadium and everything. So, before I get to it, Capper, just overall thoughts on TPC Scottsdale, this tournament, what it means to you, what you enjoy about it, what you don't like about it. Just start riffing.
So, what I love about it is this is a way I've gotten multiple people into gambling on golf. Because it's the Super Bowl. So I'll have people over because the Patriots have been in so many Super Bowls. I've held lots of Super Bowl parties. So we'll always have it on prior. And it gets people into it, especially like with me running around acting like a fucking maniac and telling people what to live bet and stuff like that. It's great for the casual golfer to maybe you can grab them and get it. The things that suck are the assholes at this fucking hole.
Yes.
Like they are the worst. But I mean, whatever. Thank God it's only a one-off, and that's fine. Like, I guess we could have one of these a year. I don't even particularly care. Like, whatever. Like, I'm just too old for that shit now. I just am. Like, when I was in my 20s, that would have been fucking great. You know what I mean? But I didn't even fucking like golf in my early 20s. Like, I didn't pick that shit up till my late 20s. But yeah, man, go out there, have a time. It's great for fucking TV. It's in the best spot it could possibly be for any golf tournament. Pre-Super Bowl. If it happens perfectly, it ends right before it. What year was it where it ran into the Super Bowl and everybody like
lots of years because there's been a lot of playoffs.
Yes, screaming at me to turn the TV, and I'm like, I'm not fucking turning the TV. I was like, well, get the other one on. Like, I'm not turning this off.
Yep,
so
there
like
was
30 people in my house angry.
Yeah, there was the year that Hideki beat Ricky in a playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where Ricky put in the water in the playoff. It was a bad break to him. He hit a 3-wood and just hit the downslope and ran all the way through the green into the water. There was that one. There was
Did you into the water that year too? Or was that a different year?
No, it might have been a different year. Okay. There was the Webb Simpson versus Tony Finau playoff.
I don't remember that one.
That was one of the early bad beats. I had Finau, and he completely choked that away that week. There was Gary Woodland, and who did he beat? I forget who he beat in the playoff. But there was that one. There was the infamous Nick Taylor versus Charlie Hoffman playoff a couple years ago. They ran to the Super Bowl as well, that no one, unless you had a Nick Taylor outright, probably stuck around for.
Was watching. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yes, this unfortunately can be susceptible to some playoffs. The Scotty Cantlay playoff, that also ran into it, but that one I stuck around for because I had a ticket on both Cantlay and Scotty, so I just want to see how it played out.
Man, Scotty was probably what, 25-1 back then?
Scotty was 25-1. Cantlay was also 25, 18. I think, that week. Yeah. So yeah, Cantlay had never played this tournament before. And so I had tickets on both of them. So I was pretty happy about that. It's the only time I've ever had playoff or tickets on both guys. The playoff. That felt pretty good. But no, so we got TPC Scottsdale. And whenever I talk about this golf course, it is a tale of two nines. And when I first started doing this, I would say it's a tale of the first 14 holes and then the last like 4. But as I've, covered this tournament through the years and watched it and studied it and analyzed it, I really have grown to appreciate the entire back nine. And I'll show you. There's some bangers on the back nine, and it's not just the holes that you think, like 15, 16, 17, that stretch there. Mm-hmm. Some of the earlier holes are really good, where things can go very awry, and there can be some car crashes, some swings. And it's why this tournament always produces usually a good finish, is there's a lot of opportunities to score on the back nine, but I'll show you a lot of opportunities that you can lose the tournament, like a lot of losers did in 2021 when we realized, hey, Brooks Koepka's at 18-1. No one wants to win it. Why don't we just bet him? And we won a bunch of money that we blew on the Super Bowl later that day.
Yep, 100%.
So this is the overhead.
What was the year was the Hao Tong Lee one where we caught the fucking book sleeping and it was still hanging 90-1 on him and he was like a couple shots back?
Hao Tong Lee? Oh God, that must have been. No, this was early OG SGPN days with my book.
Yeah.
Might have been 100%. Probably 2018 is my guess. Now it didn't work.
No, but they refunded the bets too because first of all, because it's my bookie, fuck you, you'll never be a sponsor here, so you're shady as shit. They immediately fucking, like, after 30 minutes refunded the bet. They're like, oh, this was a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. You fucked up and we caught you sleeping. There's somebody within 2 shots of the lead with fucking, oh God, it's so annoying.
So I remember now, it was James Hahn at that 2021 Phoenix.
It was Hahn. Okay. Oh, Hahn. Yes.
It was. And Hahn was winning by like 3, and we're like, no way it's going to happen.
90-1.
But then he hit it into the water a couple of times. That was the end. And then Brooks ends up chipping in for eagle, and he ends up winning. But so this is the front nine. Going to be honest, I think everybody who talks about this golf course says the same thing. The front nine is kind of a dud.
Boring.
The only thing I really know about, or can a lot of these courses, I can recall specific holes and how it plays out. Really, the front nine here, the only thing memorable I know is there's this dry creek bed in front of the 3rd green, par 5 here. And this green's actually kind of tricky. When they put the pin all the way, it's a 2-tier green, but the ridge is pretty severe. So if you have somebody who misses right, that's a difficult chip down the slope here. It's not a guaranteed birdie, but that's really the only feature I really know about the front nine. It's not a very exciting first nine, but as I mentioned,
this course?
Tom Weiskopf did. Their late great Tom Weiskopf did. And over the years, though, the last renovation I think he did was like 2014. And the guy who, is the tournament director now, they do try and make an effort to continue to toughen it up a little bit to make it more of a challenge. And as we'll get to the scoring a little bit, even though it's only about 7,200 yards, because of the firm conditions and some of the roll-offs and the ability to get in trouble off the tee, scoring is relatively kept in check here, despite advancements in technology and how far these guys hit it. But like I mentioned, though, the back nine is kind of a banger, starting with the 10th hole here. And this is the first opportunity to really get triggered because it doesn't look like a very difficult hole. But there's a lot of ways to screw it up. Usually on day one, they put the pin back left. And that can be kind of tricky because this fairway is usually going to be pretty firm because it's the desert and it's hard to keep the ball in the fairway. So a lot of balls just run through the fairway here. It's a bad angle to try to get to that pin. So you either see guys maybe short side themselves here in this bunker, or they try to cut off the corner here. They get hit in the bunker here. You know, this is one where you can definitely get an opening bogey for somebody. And I get the furious text from you saying like, all right, well, this guy's dead. And then they step up to number 11, which is a hole that you and I both love, that when you show the Pro Tracer, anything that goes left, this fairway is blatantly unfair. It is. Yes. Because it's firm. And if you hit your drive left, it is bouncing into the water. Guaranteed. And to the point where guys just blatantly blast it right. This is like why this hole's perfect for Tagala, because he just hits it way right, way over here, and just he bail out right at the green here and get up and down for par. And then on number 12 here, I'll show you an example of when they put the pin back right here, brings this water into play because the green is so firm. Or if you miss left in this bunker here, you could potentially chip it into the water. So a lot of opportunities to just make a complete mess of 11, 12 and put yourself out of this tournament. I don't usually show this slide 13 and 14, but this actually I think is an underappreciated part of the back nine here. You have the par 5 13th here with water all the way down the right. Now it's about 310 to carry all this. So at altitude and how long these guys hit it, a lot of guys can take this water out of play. But if you're a shorter hitter, though, this water is definitely in play. But just after the water, there's this desert area with a lot of cactus and vegetation where I think Scotty took an unplayable and hit it in the desert here.
Didn't JT take an unplayable there?
Possibly. I don't know.
I feel like I remember JT taking it there.
Yeah. But, this is a good opportunity to get a birdie or an eagle to kind of flip things in the back nine. But there's a lot of ways where you can definitely get in trouble here. And then the 14th here, this is just a difficult par 5 or par 4. It's 500 yards. The green is also elevated about like 10 feet above the fairway here. So if you miss right, you got chipped back up onto the green here. There's some mogul mounds as well that make for some uneven lies. It's a difficult par 4 coming down the stretch. This one.
What is it with every TPC course? Doesn't matter who the designer is. There's always fucking moguls and uneven lies everywhere.
Well, it's one way to add.
Doesn't matter who the designer is. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like it's funny. Like it's common in almost every single one of the TPC golf courses. Doesn't matter if it's Weiskopf or Dye or whoever.
Yeah. Well, you also have to remember too, this is just a flat desert and you have to add some interesting land features. And that's one of the ways to do it. But this hole features some of those, and this is just a difficult par 4 down the stretch. And then you get to 15 where you have water all the way down the left here. Again, you see guys just bail out way right. Shout out to Gala, take all the trouble out of play. But you can absolutely see some of these guys be stupid with their approach shot. Like if the lie is dodgy here, you can see some guys try and go for it in 2, and you see guys just hitting the water a lot if they have a dodgy lie. Or you see a lot of guys just lay up short of the water here, get up and down. If you are going to go for it, though, it looks a little more intimidating than what it is. A lot of guys can bail out in this bunker and just get up and down. So, but overall, though, this is a hole where you can get a birdie down the stretch, which you desperately need, or, you can put yourself out of the tournament here. And then you have the 16th. This is what it looks like without all the crowds and everything. Yeah, I had one person tell me that they thought this was the greatest par 3 on earth. And back when I actually cared and got offended by takes like that, I gave the guy I'm not going to say who it was. It's somebody who was a couple years ago told me this.
Is it somebody in the space?
No, it's nobody in this space.
Oh.
It's definitely somebody who is more of a plebeian, I would call him, as far as golf course takes. Okay. And he said this was the greatest par 3 on earth. And back then, when I got all hot and bothered about this stuff, I gave him your phone. Now I don't care. this point.
So fun.
People have their tastes. People have their tastes. It's America. It is what it is.
You used to get so mad at Sean and Ryan with their takes when we go on their fucking show. It used to crack me the fuck up.
No, I would have to be polite about it, but I would do it in like the Randy Jackson type of way on American Idol, you know.
I know.
And then you would be either Paula because you're half in the bag, or Simon.
No, I was Simon. I was super mean.
Yeah, you were super mean. But the reason why everybody loves the 16th is this garbage right here.
This dumb shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, between the people dressing up like Sesame Street characters, chugging beer, the beer snake, this idiot right here pouring a full pint of beer down his pants.
I do like the beer snake. I will not trash the beer snake. I love the beer snake. Even in my age, I still think it's cool. It's a baseball bleacher thing. Let's go beer snake. I'm pro beer snake.
That's fine. What about this right here?
No, I don't know what that is. I am.
Neither does she, by the way. She's recoiling in horror right here.
My generation are a bunch of alcoholics, and we would never waste a beer like that. Like that is alcohol abuse. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, maybe the guy pissed his pants and then decided, you know what? Why don't I pour a beer down there just to kind of mask it up? Exactly. So no, I mean, but that's why everybody loves the 16th hole. Yeah, consider me Miles Davis. But that's why everybody loves this hole. You know, it's a party atmosphere. It's acceptable in the sport of golf that, you know, if somebody moves or breathes, you know, people back off a ball and, you know, tell people to shut up. This is the only place really where it's acceptable to do that.
I hope the new commissioner, this guy who's revamping everything, the NFL, I hope that he fucking enforces the goddamn shot clock. Let's do that. That is the most important thing to me, other than figuring out this equipment shit, which I am too dumb to figure out, and I'm not smart enough to talk about it because I don't understand it. But okay. Give me the fucking shot clock. Make these assholes make a decision faster than they do. Like I legitimately think that's part of the game. Like that's part of the game. Like you don't get 900 fucking. You don't get to take that long. Got to get up, figure it out, and hit the fucking ball. Just like any other sport, you have a time limit.
Yeah, I was actually watching the DP World Tour this morning, and the guy was Callum Hill, I think was his name, was nursing a one-shot lead, and he kept backing off his ball. Now he was like swatting away something over the ball. I guess bugs at that point. I thought he was nervous. I thought the guy was making excuses at that point. And I was like, just hit the fucking ball, dude. And of course he blew it. So, but I agree, like enforce a shot clock and, you know, hold these guys accountable. But again, the 16th hole here, it's a party atmosphere. It turns a very ordinary, bland par 3 into quote unquote the greatest par 3 on earth, according to some people. So that's that. 17th hole. This is your and I favorite hole on the golf course because there's a lot of memorable things that have happened here. A lot of ways that, like, it's a tougher hole than what you would think. Obviously, it's a drivable par 4. You can get to the front of the green here, but there's a lot of ways to screw it up. You could turn the ball over too much, like Tagala did and Brandon Grace did, and put in the water here. You could do what Ricky did and just run the ball all the way through the green back into the water in a playoff to lose it. You could you could short side yourself and just not get up and down for birdie. You know, this green is huge too. So let's say if like you bail out right, but the pin is all the way in the back here, you basically take birdie out of the equation for you.
That's where Decky chipped in. He was on the right side, not chipped in, chipped off the fucking green and put it in the drink. He laid up on the right hand side of the green and chipped it all the way into the water going across.
Yeah. Now, I think the most blatant disaster on this hole, it wouldn't be what you think, but Tony Finau, the year I bet him, had I think a 2-shot lead heading to this hole, and he laid up into this center line bunker right here. Could not get the birdie. Webb Simpson gets a birdie here. Birdie's 18, forced the playoff, and then Webb Simpson wins in the playoff. That was pretty egregious when he did that.
Simpson has so many wins. It's so silly.
He does. I mean, there's a lot of golf courses that suit his his form and game on, back when he was actually a competent golfer. But, good short iron player, accurate, good putter, like that wins on a lot of courses in the PGA Tour based on where they play. You don't get you don't get as many Tory Pines as what you think on the PGA Tour, but this was one of the places he won. And then 18, honestly, technology has made this hole a bit of a letdown because before, like 10 years ago, you would have the lake all the way down the left side. You'd have the Church Pew bunkers as well. But now, with how long everybody is, they just blast it way right.
It doesn't even come into play.
They can carry this bunker. If anything, you probably end up in this bunker right over here. Some of the lies over way right can get a little dicey, but overall, though, this is basically just a driver, 110-yard wedge shot into the screen. Not a very exciting playoff hole either.
Nope.
They played this over and over, I think, in when the Nick Taylor, Charlie Hoffman playoff was. So, but hey, listen, overall, though, that's a tour of the back nine. There's a reason why this tournament has a lot of really good finishes, and a lot of these holes have something to do with it. There's opportunities to score. There are opportunities to screw it up. And that is how you get flips and reversals and runs in the back nine to force a lot of playoffs or just create a lot of memorable finishes. And that's why, Scottsdale, even though architecturally there's really nothing that fancy about it, it's one of my favorite courses and favorite tournaments in the PGA Tour, just because of just how the back nine can play out and be very entertaining. So yeah, I think everybody can really agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who hates this tournament.
No, I can't. I don't know either. It's a good lead in. It's a good leading to the Super Bowl. We're all gambling and drinking and eating, and it's a good excuse to just, indulge in sports for the day, and it's a great lead in for it. So, all right. So the GCSA report. So no real modifications. It does make mention that there was a modification to the 11th tee. It's only because they are renovating the grandstands on the 16th. Not even going to go into it. They're basically putting in more luxury boxes or something into it.
Good.
But the golf course has
riff-raff out.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be fine.
Use less riff-raff.
Exactly. Make it more corporate. Another interesting point about the GCSA report. Apparently, the tournament director won a penmanship award in third grade. I'm very happy that he put that nugget in. That's exactly what we need to know.
Where the fuck is that? Are you serious?
It's right here. Brandon Reese won a penmanship award in third grade. Sometimes I prefer the dog facts about these golf courses.
The dog. Give me the dog. Give me the dog. I hate who's this Reese person. I fucking hate them. Who is that?
Maybe he's a cat. Maybe he's a cat person, and there is no course cat. Or a course dog. But no, apparently he won a penmanship award in third grade. As far as the actual course setup goes, par 71. There are 3 par 5s in the golf course, 7,261 yards. We are still right in the thick of overseed season. You have ryegrass, fine fescue, overseed rough, fairways, Poa trivialis, and creeping bentgrass and perennial ryegrass mixed overseed as well. Now, I saw somebody comment about the potential for rough being grown up this year at Scottsdale. I have been unable to confirm that at all.
I heard it.
You heard it as well?
Yep.
Okay. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. But
how much are they going to grow it up? Let's say they do a half inch. How big of a fucking difference is it really?
Well, if they make it 3.5 versus the 2, then what it is, yeah, that's going to make a hell of a difference.
A half inch, not an inch and a half.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. If it's only a half inch, it probably isn't going to make much of a difference. So this is usually 2 inches. At that point, then it'd be like going from 2 inches at the Cognizant to 2.5 at Cognizant. And people think that's like a huge deal. It really isn't. It plays pretty much exactly the same because it's overseed. Yep. So regardless, though, average green size, 7,069 square feet. These are big greens, but they're also firm. So it can be difficult to control the ball if, you're either coming out of this 2-inch overseed rough or from the desert or a place like that. But these are very big greens as well. And they're generally pretty wide fairways, about 38 yards on average. So, and we'll get to the missed fairway penalty and stuff like that in a little bit with it. Scoring, though. This is something I want to focus a little more on because, for the most part, scoring is kind of kept in check here. Average score the last couple of years has been about 1.1, 1.2 under par. Couple years in 2023, 2022 played under a stroke under par. And then 2021 was pretty easy, pretty benign conditions, warm for most of the tournament. But you'll notice, though, there usually is a pretty stark difference to the average scoring in round one versus the rest of the tournament. Plays noticeably tougher in the first round versus the rest of it. So before I get into it, do you have any theories about why that would be?
No. Why?
Okay. Well, it's a combination of a couple of things. One is weather induced. In 2024 and 2023, you had weather significantly influence the first round.
I remember the weather in 23 and 24.
Yeah, so in 23, it was windy and cold. I was watching the highlights, and Rory had a full, long sleeves on. It was like 25-mile-per-hour winds. It was not a nice day. It played 1.4 over par that day.
I saw Hovland down here in fucking Ponte Vedra. It was maybe fucking 45 degrees out. He had a fucking triple bubble parka on and mitten gloves in between walking. And I was like, isn't this fucking guy from Norway? And I've always thought he's been soft ever since that fucking day.
Well, he did go to school in Oklahoma State. So, although, you know what? I was watching that Ping commercial that they have now with Shipley and Hovland. They got the long sleeves on. I actually watched the full video because they were promoting their driver. It actually was pretty cold and windy that day. I don't blame them.
You're such a sicko that you went and found this video and watched.
Well, it's because I'm a Ping guy, and they released the new Ping K driver, which I was demolishing the 430 10K on that simulator. That's another reason to roll the ball back, or not roll the ball back, but maybe do some limitations on the clubs, because I've never generate as much club head speed and ball speed as I have with this new driver. And I can guarantee you, I am not in any better physical shape than I was about 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but you're tall and lanky. You should be able to generate all types of shit. I've never been able to generate this much ball speed. I was hitting ones. I'm not the longest here, but I was getting 160 ball speed off with my driver. God damn, were you really?
Yeah, I was killing it. And that's not just in the indoor simulator. It was, Big Oak when we went to as well. They got the outdoor stuff. And I was, the net, I think, is 235. And before I would one hop into it. And now I'm just clearing over it, to the fact I'm getting yelled at now by the screens that say, hey, don't hit over the net. But that's another story. Back to this, though.
Back to this.
So in 2023, you had cold and wind. 2024, they actually had to stop the tournament because you got wind and rain in the middle of it. And then it got kind of soft and benign after that. But for about 2.5 hours or so, it was pretty nasty weather in 24. But in 2022, 25, I looked at it. There really wasn't any weather in the first round. It was pretty benign. It was warm. There might have been a little bit of a breeze last year, but that really wouldn't explain a 1.7 stroke difference or 1.6 stroke difference between round one and round two because of weather conditions. So I looked into it. So this is what happened between round one and round two. You can see that for most of the middle of the rally, played pretty tough. 5 through 12 played well over par. There really wasn't any breaks. But then in the second round, in basically similar weather, it played a lot easier. It's subtle, a lot of these differences, and I'll show you why. And it kind of had something to do with today, where, at least in my opinion, the pins were pretty easy on the South course today. That makes me think they maybe want to put their thumb on the scale and open up some scoring to bring some more guys into it. You could possibly be seeing something similar at Scottsdale, where on Thursday, before everybody shows up and it starts getting really rowdy and you want to kind of rile the crowd up, maybe you make the opening round a little tougher with some pin positions.
Makes sense.
before you start opening things back up on Friday. And I looked and compared, like, so if you look at the two charts here, some of the biggest swings is the second hole, the fifth hole, 8 and 9 go from, like not tremendously over par, but they go from over par to under par. 12 and 16 were some of the big swings here. And it had a lot to do with their pin positions. They, on these holes here, put pretty difficult pin positions throughout really the entire round. And then when we compare it to where it was in the second round, it was a lot easier. And here's a couple of examples here. This is number 5. So played pretty tough. It was the second hardest hole on Thursday. It's because they put the pin on the left here. So if anything that missed left here, you're short side in the bunker here. If you miss short left, you got to pitch it over the bunker. It just is, that's a difficult pin to get at. Yeah. Or if you fan it way right, that's a lot of real estate to get up and down. A very difficult pin. On Friday, they put it in the back, but a little bit more towards the middle to give you a lot more options and room to navigate if you do miss the green. If you do go a little long here, this is all overseeded rough, so it's not really going to go anywhere. It's not going to roll off anywhere. If you happen to be in the bunker, there's a lot of green to work with. Just an easier pin day to day. On number 12, on Thursday, they put it right by the water. So that would induce a lot of penalty strokes. Or if you bail out left in this bunker, you run the risk of maybe you go a little long into the water here. You saw a couple guys do that where they miss the green and they have chipping into the water. Or maybe get a little tentative with it, leave it way short because you're afraid to go in, maybe 2-putt for bogey. On Friday, they put the pin in the front where with the firm conditions, it's very easy to just land the ball short and then bounce the ball to the pin. So again, a much easier pin position, get a little more excitement for Friday, a little more scoring. And then 16 here. So we all know this whole, like, if you miss left, and this is the famous example with Scotty missing left on this hole on Sunday, but then getting kind of a bullshit drop, in my opinion. He said you're on mute. You gonna make a comment?
Yeah, I said absolutely bullshit fucking drop.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy with it. I single bulleted Scotty that week. What's crazy was 10-1 that week. And yeah, can't get that anymore. But if you miss left on 16, it's going to roll all the way down to the grandstand. And if the pin is over on this back shelf on the left, it's an instant bogey. Like, you're short-sided. You're not getting up and down. But on Friday, when you got more of, I would say, the public and the non-golf fans showing up to 16 to want to party, this pin front right on the lower shelf here, it's pretty flat, so it's pretty easy to putt on, a little shorter as well. More opportunities to get up and down if you do miss the green because you have more green to work with. It's just an easier pin. So that is an example of, depending on where the pins are, it seems like they do make an effort to put more difficult pins on Thursday before kind of lightening things up on Friday. So that might be something to keep in mind and look out for once they release the pins. See where they're at. They might want to do the theme again of just starting the course off a little more difficult, which might make you a little more cautious with round scores as well, because it does seem like they can influence the scoring pretty dramatically where the pins are if they want to at this course. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was going to say for round scores, maybe look at the overs on the fucking first thing.
Possibly. We might have to look at where the pins are and compare to some of these other years, because you can go find them. Like, you can go pull up the 2025 leaderboard and look at where the pins are and say, okay, this was the average score that day. And then you get a good rough idea where it is. So no, we'll definitely, we had a great week with the round scores this week.
Fuck yeah, we did. Tout yourself, kid.
Yeah, I went 13-2 on Thursday. That was pretty good.
That's right.
So I needed that after what happened at Sony. But yeah, that was pretty good. And we will definitely be looking at these through the week, because it does not look like we're going to get a lot of weather to worry about this week at all. Possibly some wind on Thursday. We'll monitor that. But the weekend looks pretty great again. It looks like a gem. Typical Scottsdale, no wind, mid-70s, sun. Should be a great week for golf. So
perfect weather.
All right. As far as where it's difficult at Scottsdale, off the tee, other than 2024, when you had some adverse weather, at least for for first couple rounds here, usually plays pretty easy overall, as far as, these are pretty wide fairways. We'll get to the missed fairway stuff in a little bit, but even if you go into the desert, you can usually be fine with some of the tee shots. Just the degree of difficulty is not usually all that strong with the off the tee stuff. Approach play, it really is dictated based on the weather conditions. So it was really easy, like weather conditions in 2024, like at least on the weekend, and 2021 played pretty easy for PGA Tour standards. 2023, so some really difficult weather conditions, and it played one of the hardest. So that we're probably going to get, at least after the first day, relatively easier conditions. So probably the approach stuff is going to be a little easier, although it's going to be pretty firm. So we'll see. It's kind of inconsistent year to year, I guess, is my biggest point. And it's based on some of the weather conditions you see. Around the green, again, kind of a mixed bag. Some years plays pretty easy. Some years play pretty difficult. Overall, I just call it average. Where it's difficult, it's difficult from the fairways, because, there are a lot of tight lies around these greens. So it's never easy to chip off of those. The bunkers, some of them can be a little tricky as well. Chipping out a rough, pretty easy though, because it's the overseas of rise stuff. It's not that bad. And then putting, that's kind of a little bit all over the map too. I think that kind of depends on just how fast these things are running, how firm they are. But overall, nothing too crazy. I would say probably the biggest takeaways with Scottsdale is that they're relatively easy tee shots, just overall. There's nothing a lot challenging with it. And approach play is kind of dictated based on the conditions. So driving, though, other than a couple of years, this typically has one of the lower missed fairway penalties on the PGA Tour, because the rough isn't all that bad. And this non-rough penalty, either hitting into the desert or out of bunkers, if you're there, you could be completely fine. And you remember like Jordan Spieth that year where he was in contention, where he was hitting it everywhere, but he was fine. However,
this is where you got the cactus in his ass. Isn't that here?
No, I thought that was Ricky though. I think Ricky got himself with the cactus. Yeah.
Okay.
But even though, and people will say you can be blasted anywhere, it doesn't matter. This place has one of the highest penalty rates for missed fairways on the PGA Tour, because there are a couple holes where water's in play, but more importantly, though, is if you do end up going into the desert, you can hit into a cactus or into a boulder, or just get unplayable lie. So that's something to keep in mind too, where yes, this is a lot more forgiving than other places, but if you continually are hitting it into the desert, eventually you're going to get burned by doing it. As far as the driving statistics go, this usually has one of the lowest fairway percentages in the PGA Tour as far as driving accuracy, because the fairway is usually pretty firm. Balls just run right through it. However, it has some of the highest driving distances on the PGA Tour, because wider fairways, usually firmer fairways, you get a lot of roll. You also have a little bit of elevation assist as well. It's about 1,500 feet of elevation. So the ball does carry a little farther with that. Most years, the average driving distance is well over 300 yards. Last year's 309 average drive. In 2024, it was only 293, and that's because they got a lot of rain at the beginning of the tournament and slowed down the fairways. But it also boosted your driving accuracy rates that week too. So most years, though, when the fairways are running pretty firm, usually you get about low 50s driving accuracy rate, and drives are just well past 300. So, and a lot of guys can benefit, as long as you're hitting fairways here, even like Tom Kim probably could average like 300 at this place, because the ball just roll and roll and roll and roll. Yeah.
Tom Kim now stinks.
It's a little bit hot. He does stink, but I'm just trying to make a point with that. With proximity buckets. So last year, because the fairways are really firm and the ball rolled a lot, it skewed a little shorter. But overall, though, your sweet spot is between like 150 and 200 at this place. Obviously the 16th plays between 175 and 200. There's a lot of like mid-range par fours on this golf course because it is only 7,200 yards and change. Obviously, you have a lot of reachable par fives. That explains why, it's like, you have a relatively higher rate of over 225. Well, not really. I guess it's below average, but overall, though, the range you really want to look at that's the higher concentration is between 150 and 200. But it's relatively spread out just overall. That's really the only range that's the highly concentration is between that range. As far as correlate courses goes, in the predictive skill set chart, there's a higher
ranch.
Well, that's the Weisskopf connection. There's some holes at Craig Ranch that are worse versions of Scottsdale holes that we've discussed. There's some drivable par fours on that golf course. Greens are obviously similar to this place. That's why it's pretty driver heavy. You see some big driving distances there, so that's why it's a big concourse. But overall, though, as far as like predictive skill set chart, higher predictiveness in driving distance and accuracy. If you have a lot of length here, you can really take advantage of it with the altitude and how far you can push it. But because of the high, even though there's a lower missed fairway penalty and it can be a little forgiving if you hit in the desert, there's a high penalty rate. So you don't really want to spray it too much here, but there are guys who can get away with it here. But as far as like correlated courses go, TBC Craig Ranch is one. Shadow Creek and Bay Hill, those have relatively higher. Well, Shadow Creek was more of a high missed fairway penalty, and that might be kind of a byproduct of just only one tournament. But with Bay Hill, though, there's a lot of penalties there. So I think that's why this is on this list where you want to have like length and accuracy off the tee. Like those are big, like off the tee, like courses. And this kind of, we'll get to the in-tournament stuff. Driving performance is pretty important here. And those are two examples where it is there. Castle Pines had a high penalty rate as well for missing fairways. That's why it's on this list. Liberty National, similar. TBC Toronto, I think, is a good one as well. Just like it could be a byproduct of just the leader. We only had one tournament there, but you have guys like Sam Burns, who's in really good at Scottsdale. He lost in the playoff here. Kevin Yu came in third. He has like a T16 here.
Who did he lose to?
Ryan Fox.
Wait, at Phoenix?
No, Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, that's right. That Fox.
Yeah. No, I'm just comparing the two.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Thomas Dietrich, his best finish after he won and just went into don't give a fuck mode. His best finish was at TBC Toronto. He finished like 18th. Nick Taylor did pretty well at TBC Toronto, and he obviously won here. So there's a little bit of a crossover between the two. Another one that people mention is Memorial Park. I get it. There are some differences, though. There is basically no the penalty. There aren't a lot of penalties for missing fairways at Memorial Park. So that's one. Two, approach shots are generally a lot longer at Memorial Park than here. And that one I think is more skewed towards bombers than this one is. You can definitely get some shorter hitters that do better here just because, as long as you keep it in the fairway, the ball's just going to roll and roll and roll. And Memorial Park's a lot longer. I get it, though. Like, obviously, there's some guys who've done well in Memorial Park and here. There is a low miss fairway penalty at that place. It's not as clean as what you want it to be for a comp course, but I get it. But people will reference that this week. And as far as like types of hitters, long hitters, short hitters, accurate, inaccurate, like where people can do better than not. Longer hitters and inaccurate hitters perform better here than most PGA Tour golf courses than shorter accurate hitters, but doesn't mean that if you're short and accurate, you're out of it. Like Nick Taylor has done well here. Webb Simpson has done well here. Yep. So it's just that this is the type of golf course.
Had a runner-up too. Runner-up in.
Yeah, he did. He finished runner-up to Scotty. And it's just that, like, at this golf course, as long as you don't hit in a cactus bush, you can pretty much just blast it and get away with it. So that's why those types of guys can do a little better here. So let's go through just some of the leaderboards of the past. Scotty Scheffler, the year we mentioned, I single bulleted him that week. Wins in 19 under over Nick Taylor. And I think it's more important to focus on like this chart here of like what mattered this week. So off the tee performance mattered a lot more at this tournament than regular PGA Tour courses. And you can see like most of the guys in the top 10 here. Just drove it really good that week. And he got a lot of really good drivers, Scotty and Rahm and Justin Thomas and Sam Burns and Xander. And, even like Wyndham Clark lost strokes off the tee, but he hits it a mile. So
Exactly.
that had a big correlation. Approach play is the most important, as it is every single week, but it was a little more all over the map. Like, you had Scotty and Speed hit their irons really good, but you had some other guys who are kind of middling as well. And around the green play, I guess, really helped you separate a little more too. So, a lot of guys in tournament scrambled it pretty well, and they happen to appear at the top of the leaderboard here. 2024, a little different though. That year around the green didn't matter as much, and putting mattered a lot more, became much more of a putting contest, but driving still was very important. In tournament driving really helped separate you. Basically just either you hit a lot of fairways, or you gained by length, or you just avoided a lot of the penalty areas. That helps separate you at this tournament. And then the same thing 2025 last year. Again, off the tee performance mattered more than other PGA Tour golf courses. This one was through length and accuracy. And the other ones just weren't as correlated as other places. So it's kind of what I'm going for this week. I'm like the first couple tournaments. Well, not really Tory Pines. But Sony and Amex, I just did not care about off the tee stuff. This is when I start caring this week a little more about it.
Okay.
And then just guys who are pretty good from between 150 and 200. Guys who
fucking list. Bez came in 4th if off the tee matters. Makes 0 sense. There's always one.
But you see like Dietrich and Berger and JT, Bobby Mack.
Chandler? Why do I know who the fuck is Will Chandler? Why don't I remember that guy?
I think he was a Monday qualifier. I think he might have been a Monday qualifier. This place.
I was like, I know all the bums. I don't know that guy's name.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the end of that. Let's go to the odds board.
Yep. Let's do it.
So here we go right here. I have the without Scotty market up.
15 to oh, okay.
This is without. I think he's like 20 to 1 with Scotty.
That was stroke.
Okay. Because look, I'm not betting. I'm done doing it. I'm done getting burned by it. And I'm just going to do the without Scotty market because he's won here twice. And this is a great golf course for him. He's won a lot on overseeded POA. If there's a high rate of penalties incurred if you miss fairways, obviously he doesn't miss fairways. He drives it so good. He's really between 150 and 200. He just is awesome.
It's good.
I don't really, and I really want to go against him this week. So, nope. All right. So you got guys like, let's focus on this group right here. So you got like Xander at 15, Cam Young at 20. This range here. Who of these guys kind of piques your interest this week?
Maybe Decky a little bit.
Okay. I mean, 2-time winner. Played pretty well.
Course history, played pretty well this weekend.
Okay.
I'd be curious. So I haven't gone back and looked what he did this weekend as far as like off the tee. I wonder if what we were worried about towards the tail end of last year with him as far as like the ball speed being down and his off the tee numbers. I wonder what those look like from this week.
So I noted last week they're starting to come back a little bit.
Okay.
So that's something I'd like to see what he did this week. He got a boost this week as far as like the fairways are pretty firm. So we had a good driving. Although I think on Thursday, although that was the North Course, we don't have stats, but like he was not driving it all that great on Thursday.
Okay.
So we'll have to go back and check.
Maybe Burnsy? I don't know. He's such a fucking loser though.
Yeah, Burns. Did he finish well at Amex? So he's got a little momentum. He's been good here.
Like 20, 30s, something like that. Nothing great. Like, just typical Burns bullshit. I don't trust Siwoo. I don't give a fuck what he's done the last 2 weeks. The putter is so bad.
So Siwoo sucks. Siwoo's been bad here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be a demerit for him. Hovland has curiously been really bad here to the point where I can't explain it, but I'm just going to avoid it.
Yeah, and he hasn't played it yet, right?
Well, he played over in the Middle East.
That doesn't count.
No, Patrick Reed won over there, and Hovland, I think,
that also
he had a bad Sunday. But no, Reed beat like Fleetwood and Hovland and Rory,
all
like,
these
Shane Lowry and
winners, Lowry and Fleetwood, all these guys who win all these fucking tournaments. Lowry won an Open once, and Fleetwood finally fucking beat 30 guys on a bullshit course.
Okay, well, Patrick Reed still like won a legit tournament, so it's not like he was playing against plumbers. Now he played against plumbers this week, but he lost in a playoff. By the way, Reed's playing really good golf. He's an asshole, but guy loves golf. Guy loves to play golf globally. He played 32 times last year. By the way,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Why? So why do people hate Reed other than his wife's like a bitch? Like other than that, like.
Yeah, because he sued the PGA Tour, or he sued like the PGA Tour and like sued like he's cheated, you know.
Allegedly, and I respect cheaters.
No, he cheated at the Hero. You remember that, right?
I do.
Yeah, he scooped the sand out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyways, all right. This Brooks number is
27. Disgusting.
That's kind of crazy. Okay.
McNeely, even worse.
Mav's been playing well.
Fucking loser. I don't give a fuck. He's a goddamn loser. He's lucky he has one fucking win on tour. One. I would not be shocked if he does not add on to that, because he fucking is a absolutely gutless, spineless loser. Is Matt McNeely.
Okay, well, he's been really good at Scottsdale. He's been driving the ball really good. His iron play's been a little better, so it's not horrible. This Goddard number, though, that's intriguing to me.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
and he hits the ball left to right. Hits it far. The only knock against him is he's from New Jersey, which is, other than the red states, the worst state in the union.
Fitzpatrick 33, potentially.
Why is Morikawa 32-1? The guy hasn't won shit since there's been people watching. Other than
that
fake tournament.
That's gonna be a no bet for me. That's a no for me, dog. No. Is Colin this week. But Goddard is interesting to me at 32. Like Fitzpatrick is interesting to me at 33. This Jake Knapp number.
Did he play?
This Knapp number is what did Fitz do?
The last time it was out, wasn't it good? It wasn't good, right?
Oh, he's played the Amex, which
he didn't play. No, it doesn't fit his game anyway. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, this is more like scoring wise would be more reasonable for him. I think he's got like a 15, like he finished top 15 here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So he could do it. This Jake Knapp number stinks.
So bad.
But if this was like 50,
oh yeah.
He's playing good. I could get into it, but like, yeah, if you're getting me Fitzpatrick at 33 or Jake Knapp at 35, I'm probably taking.
Oh, Fitz. So what's funny is I'm taking Knapp at 35.
You would take Knapp at 35?
I'm taking Knapp at 35, given those two options. Just because he plays so good on these courses where it matters off the tee, and he played great off the tee this week. Played good at the South Course for 3 days. Yeah, and I think I'd take Knapp.
All right. Going down a little farther, I could see myself going back to Wyndham Clark because he just has not had a good track record at Tory, but he played good at Amex.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm fine. I would be fine going back to Wyndham Clark here.
Cody's been playing his balls off.
Yeah, I mean, now his number is pretty high because he finished second.
But I don't even think
I'm at Amex.
I don't even think it's that unfair. Like I don't even like he fits the criteria that what we're looking for. He's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Mitchell at 46. Get the fuck out of here. You can make it 460, and he's not getting a fucking penny of my money. Gutless. Talk about gutless losers of gutless losers. And he always looks so fucking miserable on the course. He holed out an eagle today and looked like a fucking asshole when the crowd was like cheering him on. He's like, all right, yeah, I'm not gonna win. Like he didn't care. Like, be excited, you prick. Fuck yeah. God, I hate these people.
Nikolai Højgaard played pretty good this week. Maybe I go back to him again. So his brother played better. His brother played well last year here, but Nikolai got off to a good start too. So I know he can do it here. You could go with
McCaddy.
I-
McCaddy is
you could.
Utah. Is Utah close to this?
They're both deserts. So
yeah.
there's a high rate of penalties if you miss a fairway at Black Desert. So
yeah,
similar to this. They're both Weiskopfs. So you know what? That's actually an astute observation by you.
Okay.
So there you go. There may be something to that.
The kid makes fucking birdies, man. Like he is aggressive. I like watching him golf.
Okay.
They show him, which is
all right.
Large.
You had Max Graysman rip up the North course this week and then got completely demolished on the South course, but he's shown at least some upside. Yeah. You go with that. Andrew Novak played pretty well at Tory. He's got a good record at Phoenix. That you go back to him in 92-1.
I like Novak. I like Novak. I was on him last week too.
Yeah, you could do that. This John Kiefer guy seems like he's showing a little bit of upside as well.
I had him in my single entry, and he seems a little gutless. I'm not quite sure.
If you believe in the Tony Finau resurgence, he's 125-1 without Scotty.
It's not bad for that, but man, what's his course? He's got good course history here too.
So that's the thing. He actually, I think, he only has that second place finish. Otherwise, it's pretty unremarkable here.
Okay. All right,
so
good. Make it easy for him. Pass.
Okay. Once we get past that, though, like we get into like Joel Damon or Woodland or Billy Horschel. Yeah. I'm probably good on these guys. So, but you're right, though. This is just the DraftKings without market. This pricing is kind of gross. Shop it around, see what happens. But that's where my head is at this week. I think I'm probably going to that market.
Yeah,
which everybody is going to. Which everybody's going to, but I think you should at this point.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. I think you should. And like you said, maybe we can math it out over the next couple of days before the show on Tuesday to see which makes more sense. Some of the top 5 markets.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll do that. We can map it out.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this tournament. Super Bowl Sunday. The Pats are going to bring home another Lombardi trophy, which after the Bill Belichick snub, is this not the craziest thing? First of all, the Hall of Fames have all gotten out of control, where they all fucking stink, right? Small hall, man, small hall. Just because you were good, like Craig Biggio is in the fucking baseball Hall of Fame. Brian Urlacher was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, and now Bill doesn't get in because what's that dinosaur's name? That fucking asshole from Boston. Him and Bill Polian, and like, it's so insane to me. Like, look, I don't give a fuck. You want to hold Spygate against him and everything else? Fine. The fact that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer completely delegitimizes your fucking Hall of Fame. Period. End of story. Like, that's it. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. And I was Brady over Bill the entire time. You remember me? I fucking hated that shit. I hated what Bill did. And I can still be like, yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not particularly close either. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Here's what I
PR for Bill too. It's good PR. Now everybody's like apologizing and it'll be like, oh, this is the best thing that could have happened to Bill.
No, there was the kid. Did you see what the Kansas City writer wrote about it?
No.
Okay, so his justification is completely crazy. So he came out and said, yeah, like I didn't vote for Bill, but it had nothing to do with Spygate. It had nothing to do with that. The reason why he did not vote for Bill Belichick is because Ken Anderson and a couple other guys who were like above average quarterback, like players in the 80s, were starting to get to the end of their rope with getting voted in the Hall. And he's like, I want to vote for those guys.
This is the dumbest fucking argument ever. You're either a fucking Hall of Famer or you're not. Like that's it. You're either the best, like you have to be one of the best players of your generation at that position, or you're not. Just because it goes 15 years now, there's a weak class. Now you're a fucking Hall of Famer. Get the fuck out of here. Like the baseball is bad. Football's, I feel like, has been worse than baseball recently. Nobody cares about the NBA or fucking Hockey Hall of Fame. So I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Either way, I'm excited about this week. Big week. Patriots betting Scotty outright with the money line. Pats, no question, because no one is picking the Patriots. So yeah, can't wait to shake my ass after the Patriots bring home another Lombardi, and that's it.
All right, so we will be back.
He got 3,000 hits because he played for 25 fucking years. Well, who cares? 3,000 fucking hits. He played forever. He's a stat accumulator. Get the fuck out of here. So stupid. Who's the other asshole that's in? Jeff Kent is in. All these new nerds with their fucking wars and all this shit. They didn't even play in the era of wars. These guys.
Hey, he won an MVP, man. You know, gotta give it to him. Yeah, he had help from two sources: A, Barry Bonds, and B, the steroids that Barry Bonds gave him, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
going to say allegedly.
Listen, I think all those steroid guys should be in the Hall of Fame. I think Clemens, Bonds, I think all those guys should be in the fucking Hall of Fame. All of them. Like, who cares? Everybody was doing it at that time. They were the best players with the steroids. So who cares? Like, gives a shit.
All right.
Homers by his basement.
Yeah, because he was on steroids, allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Dave just makes me so angry.
All right. All right. We'll be back on Tuesday. So we will definitely be doing the Phoenix bets that day. We're still deciding what we're gonna do with the Super Bowl. Usually we do a separate show. We might combine it all into one show on Tuesday. We'll see what happens. Our lives are a little different than what they used to be. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday for the Best Bets show. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching tonight. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to the Inside Sports Network on YouTube. That way you can get all our videos as soon as they become available. And we thank you for watching tonight.
That's it. Talk to you guys on Tuesday. Bye.